was occupied by some other things.
And I would like to apologize for not being able to upload all more reviews, which was due to this COVID-19 incident, and we were not able to have enough time because we were still settling and getting into places and all that, shopping for the lockdown, which has now been officially in Ghana. This afternoon we are going to review to you a board game called Kairo, and it was one of the games we have been playing during this lockdown, and it was fantastic for us, so we wanted to share the experience. I'm going to start with the things we like about the game, and I'll start by saying that I like the game components. First of all, the board, which is this map, and it's colorful, it's printed well, and it's visible. Okay, it can be seen properly, so it's not like it has very thin writings and all that. Anyone can see it with clear. It's very clearly seen because of the colors and all that, and the size of the numbers, letters, spaces, and all that. Then so the pieces will not get spoiled that easily, and they will take a bit longer. Then I'll go to the
Well, for me, basically, I love the game mechanics. Yeah, the board is fine and all that, but the game mechanics, whereby, like the buying, where whenever a customer buys, you exchange it with another customer that is off the board. That mechanics is nice, so it means that you do not have the customer sticking in front of one person's stall all the time. So basically they do not offer him money all the time. And then the next thing is these medals. They're the major generators of victory points. So if you have the proper strategies, you can get a lot of victory points out of them. And thirdly, these expansions, whereby all the time you expand, you also gain victory points, but even if they offer you victory points all the time you expand, they do not give you the same amount of victory points as the medals would do, and it's a bit harder to expand. And then these cards and how you use them. For example, this one allows you to bypass the shops, and these ones allow you to either expand or put in a new stall. And the idea that you cannot put in two colors of a stall into the same region. For example, this region here, we cannot have a red and a red in here. It's not allowed. And the idea that you cannot block someone's stall, that's a very good mechanic that I like from the game.
The other thing is I like these round things. So these are like the entrance to the stores here. So when the customer comes here, enters from here. So these ones they prevent other players from putting their other stores here, expansions or other things. So these ones kind of limit the space on the board, which is quite an interesting make. Then the other mechanic of expanding, which is very nice, it gives you more coins and gives you the ability to earn the medals, which advance you in the points, which is quite very good. And I guess that's it for the things I like. Following that, we shall go to the things we dislike about the game.
The things I dislike from the game is the how can I say it? The idea that two of different colors of coins, for example, if you have two coins of white, they are the same as one coin of yellow or one coin of red or any other color. I hate that mechanic because it limits you. You might think that you have a variety of colors, so you have very many coins, but the idea that you have to spend a different color coin on a different item, it's very horrible because you have to use a lot of coins, and I hate that mechanic because it's one limiting factor, but it's also good in its own way. It comes in handy sometimes, especially against the opponents. And then the idea that someone can the idea that when you're maintaining these medals you do not get victory points for them. I hate that. Why don't they just give you all the victory points instead of you first having to lose the medals to someone else and then getting it back in order to get the victory points again? That mechanic is a nice one, but really doesn't sit well with me because it limits a lot.
The thing I don't like about the game is, anyway, all in all, I just hate the game end triggers because these tiles are very few. At least it was like 3 tiles when they're having 1-1-1. That would be reasonable time because like our last game it was like we have just started and the game has ended. People are getting points there at 40. For us, we are just on 20. So we had the hope of catching up, which was not possible because of the game end triggers. So the general discussion about the game. First of all, do you like the game?
Yeah, I love the game because of the very many, how can I say, very many strategies you can implement within the game depending on this. For example, my strategy that I used yesterday against them was I calculated it that these red medals are the ones that have most points. So these colors are red, green, and purple. Those colors have medals with very high points. So putting out the first 3 stalls, I put the same colors in so that I can just simply expand without having to put out a stall. So that is a very nice idea because every time I get to choose a strategy, I base it on how best I can get points. And the other thing I love from the game is when you're playing the game, it's easier to monitor whether you're going to win or lose and what you're supposed to do about it. For example, when we were playing yesterday, Ben started with 7 points and I was still lagging behind, but after playing for 3 rounds, I started leading.
I agree on that because there's this make of hiding your coins. So you can't anticipate what your other player has. You can never know because that I believe that mechanic was also a good one where we don't know what the other players has in their hands. So that means you have to expect everything. And then Ben went and dropped his cover, the one which was covering his coins. And then we saw it and then we laughed at him. We just knew what he was going to do. But anyway, it was kind of fun seeing what Ben had. But still, that I believe you can't anticipate what the other. Well, you can't determine the game end if the difference is like 10 like that. You can't anticipate but if it's like 20, there you can say
well, I could actually anticipate it because, for example, yesterday you remember we had 2 of these tails out, and I anticipated it that you are going to put out the 3rd tail, meaning you are going to lead and you'd hold both of the medals. And for me to put out a 3rd tail would only give me the silver one, but I wanted to hold both of them, so I had to expand before you. Yeah. The reason why I anticipated that was because you were getting a lot of the red coins. Even if I wasn't seeing the coins you had in the hands, I was watching the game. Who is getting what? When is he getting it? And storing that in memory, saying, okay, this one has gotten red, and the next time you get, I say, oh, so he's probably going to do this, so let me do this before he does it.
But the thing was like this, that you were able to know what I might have because we're the only 2 competing players in red, isn't it?
Isn't it? Yes.
But you couldn't know what the other guys had.
I could know because for me when I was playing the game, I was seeing, because the fact that I only put out purple, green and red, those are the only 3 stalls I put out. Yeah, they gave me a lot of time to focus on the few tails, on the few stalls I have on board instead of focusing on 6.
Mm.
It's very hard to focus on many, yeah? But when I put out 3, that is half of the number of the total stalls I can put out. I focus better, yeah? So I was seeing, for beginners, I only expanded purple once, especially after Ben expanded purple the third time.
You see,
Meaning that I could not catch up with him. So I gave up on it.
Sneak around, you see, you couldn't see what he was doing.
Not exactly. I wasn't focusing much on purple, but the colors I was focusing on, green and red.
Okay.
That's why I had the highest expansions in those 2.
But you see, Ben was trying to go with this sneaky strategy around, but still couldn't help him. Okay. Is it good for the village kids?
Well, I must admit the game is complicated, very complicated, especially the bits whereby you're expanding and you have to get points for them, and the market bit where every time the customer buys you exchange. It's easier for people to forget to exchange the customers, and I was forgetting a lot.
Okay, to me I would say I think it's good for players who have experience in board gaming. It's not you don't just come out of the blue and fall on this game, because even me, I was kind of getting bored of listening to the rules, because there are a lot of rules, right?
Yeah.
And there are a lot of things to read about the game, so you understand, and the actions are quite complicated. Only 3 actions, but the explanation is too much, so it's not good for beginners. I would say for people who have played a few games,
Yeah.
and they have experienced this from all sides, so I think they can have a go at this game. But which level would you give the game?
I would give it about, how can I say it, medium towards advanced.
Medium.
That is because when you understand the way the game works properly, when the person teaching the game is explaining, it's easier to strategize and plan and all that. But when you do not understand the game properly, it would mean that you make a lot of mistakes.
So, like, which level? According to from 1 to 5.
From 1 to 5, I would give it 3.
Yeah, even me, that's what I had in mind, because it doesn't have a lot to read. Actually, there's nothing to read on the board, but the rules, those are the ones you have to read.
And these cards where you have to pay for, and these ones, and then discarding of 3, these ones that you can use to skip other people's stalls, and then the marketplace which doesn't allow other colors except purple.
Yeah,
that's basically why I would give it all that.
Okay. Following that, I would like to end here and by saying thanks for watching the video. If you'd like more videos, click the subscribe button and like the video. Thanks. We are praying for all those countries which are attacked by this coronavirus, and we pray that you keep yourself safe, because here in Uganda